Imagine opening your eyes and realizing that today, there will only be one meal. No smell of breakfast filling the house. No midday snack keeping you going. No dinner waiting for you at sundown. Just one plate. The idea sounds almost unbearable, but behind that discomfort lies a mystery that science is only beginning to unravel. What if eating just once a day was the key to unlocking hidden abilities of the body? For most people, the mere idea of skipping a meal causes anxiety. Since we were young, we've been told that skipping breakfast is a mistake and that eating constantly keeps your metabolism running. But what if that idea is wrong? Human history was not built on abundance, but on scarcity. Our ancestors didn't have stores or cafeterias. They depended on hunting, gathering, and enduring long periods without eating. What if deep in your biology, that ancient rhythm still exists, waiting to be awakened? When you eat only once a day, you're not just testing your mental strength. You're diving into a biological experiment capable of transforming your energy, focus, and even your longevity. So what really happens when your body faces this challenge? What internal switches get activated when your body realizes there will be no breakfast? The answers are shocking and in some ways unsettling. And they begin just hours in. The first hours without food feel like an internal rebellion. Your stomach growls. Your head feels light. Your thoughts revolve around food. It's your body's alert system at work. The hormone ghrelin rises, sending urgent messages to the brain. Seek food. But this isn't real hunger yet. It's an ancestral reflex designed to keep you alive. Then something unexpected happens. After a while, the noise fades. Your body realizes food isn't coming soon, and instead of shutting down, it begins to adapt. Hormones shift, energy reserves are activated, your system reorganizes. Surprisingly, you become more alert, more focused, not weaker. This transformation isn't random. It's the result of thousands of years of evolution. When food was scarce, early humans needed sharper senses, not sluggishness. The mild stress of hunger acts as a boost for mental clarity, a survival advantage encoded in your DNA. So, while your modern mind sees food deprivation as a problem, your ancient biology interprets it as preparation. What looks like lack is actually activation. Your body awakens its original efficiency. Have you ever wondered whether what we call hunger is a real need or just a deeply rooted habit? Most of us eat because the clock says so, not because the body truly needs it. Studies show that much of what we call hunger is a conditioned response, not a physiological emergency. When you stop eating several times a day, the brain protests at first. It's used to its little hits of dopamine with every bite, little sparks of pleasure linked to habit and comfort. But over time, something extraordinary happens. The brain self-regulates. Around 72 hours into intermittent fasting, ghrelin starts to stabilize, and real hunger, the kind that responds to biological need, separates from emotional anxiety. This change reveals how dependent we are on constant stimulation. Food stopped being about survival and became about satisfaction. When you eat only once a day, the noise disappears, and you begin to perceive the body's genuine signals. In that silence, the first true understanding of hunger is born, not as an enemy, but as a messenger that reminds you of a forgotten way of living. When you skip your usual eating times, blood sugar drops. Your body notices and turns to its reserves. The liver releases stored glucose to keep your energy stable. But as the hours pass, something deeper begins. The body switches from burning sugar to burning fat. This is called metabolic flexibility, one of the body's most powerful adaptations. Instead of depending on external fuel, your cells draw from their internal storage. For the first time in years, your body uses fat as a source of energy, not because you're in danger, but because you're finally allowing it. As insulin drops, inflammation decreases. Researchers have discovered that lower insulin activity improves weight control, mental clarity, and cell repair. It's as if your body can finally breathe again after years of metabolic chaos. However, this balance is delicate. The body must manage every calorie and molecule carefully. Any excess or intense effort can turn adaptation into stress. This is where the dance between discipline and balance begins. Insulin is the silent conductor of your metabolism. Every meal raises its levels and signals the body to store energy. But when you eat only once a day, insulin gets the rest it's long needed. It stays low for part of the day and shifts from storage mode to burn mode. Studies show that low insulin levels improve cellular sensitivity, making the body more efficient with fuel. This process process can reverse early signs of diabetes, reduce inflammation, and support longevity. In short, spacing out your meals helps insulin recover its natural rhythm. Still, the transformation isn't instant. In the early days, you may feel fatigue, irritability, or dizziness, symptoms of a system recalibrating. Your metabolism is relearning how to handle energy, the way it used to before food was always available. And when insulin stabilizes, a silent revolution begins inside you. Fat starts to melt, not as punishment, but with purpose. You're no longer living in constant eating mode. You give your body room to repair, adapt, and evolve as it was designed to. After several hours without eating, the body enters a state called metabolic transition. This is not starvation, it's strategy. Every cell adjusts its function. Every hormone shifts. The body stops expecting external energy and begins generating it from within. The fat reserves, once forgotten, are now your main fuel. And here's where it all gets fascinating. The mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, become more efficient. They learn to oxidize fats instead of sugar, a process that releases cleaner energy and fewer byproducts. It's like upgrading from cheap gasoline to a high-performance engine. And as the body adapts, so does the mind. Many people describe this phase as a state of calm and clarity, as if the constant noise of hunger had vanished. Evolution created this advantage with a clear goal: survival. When our ancestors felt hunger, they didn't need weakness. They needed lucidity to find food. And what's surprising is that this ancient mechanism is still active inside you today. Your body is not deteriorating, it's waking up. Hunger stops being a threat and becomes a guide, showing how adaptable the human body can be. If this information is helping you, support me with a like and subscribe so we can keep learning about science and evidence-based health together. When the body enters fat-burning mode, something extraordinary happens internally. The liver begins to produce ketone bodies, molecules that function as an alternative fuel for both the brain and the muscles. These ketones are clean, efficient, and for many people, incredibly powerful. At this stage, energy doesn't drop, it rises. The brain, which is used to depending on glucose, learns to function brilliantly with ketones. Multiple studies have shown that this metabolic state can increase focus, reduce anxiety, and even offer protection against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It's like upgrading your brain to a faster, smarter operating system. But this transition isn't always comfortable. The first few days may come with fatigue, irritability, or the well-known keto flu. However, once the body finishes adapting, most people experience a deep sense of stability, a calm that comes from being free of constant sugar highs and lows. This invisible process, the body feeding off its own reserves, is proof of the evolutionary perfection of the human being. Fat was never meant to be permanent. It was created to sustain you. By eating only once a day, you simply remind your biology what its original function is. Between 16 and 20 hours of fasting, a silent transformation begins at the microscopic level. Damaged proteins, defective organelles, and cellular waste are dismantled and recycled in a mechanism called autophagy, which literally means self-eating. It's the purification system your body activates to renew itself from the inside out. This process isn't modern, it's ancient. Japanese scientist Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize in 2016 for discovering how autophagy works. It's so essential that when it fails, diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, or heart problems can appear. When triggered by fasting, cells restore themselves with incredible precision. Think of it as a deep clean. Aged cells are recycled and replaced by newer, more efficient ones. It's not just about looking better, it's about functioning on a whole new level. Fasting gives your body the time and space to repair, something that constant eating never allows. Even if this phase isn't visible from the outside, inside your body, a true molecular masterpiece is unfolding, one that might hold the keys to a longer life. Hunger is not just physical, it's also emotional. When the brain detects a lack of food, it activates a complex network of responses, some primal, others psychological. At first, it can feel like chaos, mood swings, irritability, cravings. But over time, something amazing happens. The brain starts to reorganize. Fasting increases the production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that promotes the growth of new neurons and strengthens the existing ones. In simple terms, Fasting can boost brain health. Studies suggest improvements in memory, learning, and stress tolerance. Those who practice one meal a day often describe an unexpected sense of serenity. Thoughts become clear, emotions stabilize, and the mind breaks free from the sugar roller coaster. Hunger no longer controls you, you begin to control it. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, learning to wait until you're truly hungry becomes a silent exercise in discipline, resilience, and self-control. But not everything is perfect. Eating only once a day also carries risks. While the body can adapt well, not all systems respond the same way. Some people experience fatigue, low blood pressure, hormonal imbalances, or nutrient deficiencies. The challenge is maintaining biological balance. A feeding window that's too short can make it hard to absorb enough essential vitamins and minerals. Muscles may weaken. The immune system may become strained. In women, hormonal changes can affect the menstrual cycle. Psychologically, this practice can also become obsessive. The search for total control can evolve into anxiety or a tense relationship with food. Even experts agree, fasting is powerful, but it is not a universal solution. The dark side of this method doesn't lie in fasting itself, but in forgetting that food is also culture, connection, and self-care. The true strength of the human body is not found in extremes, but in balance. Eating once a day may feel like a miracle, but science insists every body has its own story. For some, this rhythm brings energy, mental clarity, and ease in maintaining weight. For others, it brings exhaustion, irritability, or hormonal imbalances. Athletes might lose muscle mass if they don't get enough nutrients. People with diabetes or thyroid issues may face dangerous imbalances. Women, due to their hormonal sensitivity, may experience stronger effects. Fasting is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it requires precision. On the other hand, those suffering from inflammation, insulin resistance, or metabolic syndrome may benefit greatly. Controlled fasting can reduce inflammatory markers, lower blood glucose, and promote cellular repair, a claim supported by research from Harvard, Stanford, and the National Institutes of Health. The conclusion is clear. Eating once a day is not a universal cure. It is a biological technique that can heal or harm depending on how it is used. For decades, science has searched for the secret to a long life. Surprisingly, many answers point to the same thing: caloric restriction and metabolic rest. When the body spends more time repairing than digesting, it preserves itself better. Animal studies show lifespan increases of up to 30%. In humans, improved mitochondrial health, reduced inflammation, and delayed age-related diseases have been observed. Fasting won't make anyone immortal, but it can optimize the mechanisms that keep you alive. Beyond biology, it also affects the mind, bringing clarity, emotional stability, and a renewed appreciation for food. That first bite after 24 hours tastes different. It's almost an awakening. The senses sharpen. A deep gratitude is born. Perhaps true longevity isn't just about living longer, but about living more consciously, one meal at a time. Long before terms like ketones and autophagy existed, ancient civilizations already practiced fasting. From Greek philosophers to the traditions of India, Egypt, and Japan, fasting was seen as a path toward clarity, healing, and rebirth. Hunter-gatherers didn't follow schedules. They lived between periods of abundance and scarcity. That natural rhythm still exists in you. Modern comfort has silenced it, but it hasn't erased it. When you choose to eat only once a day, you're not following a trend. You're returning to an ancestral pattern. You're synchronizing your body with a wisdom older than written history. Maybe that's why when you fast, you don't just feel different. You feel connected to your ancestors, to your instincts, and to the eternal dance between need and survival. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because what's coming will blow your mind.